I haven't been in touch in a little while. I've been all over the place. I was a groomsman in a wedding just a few days ago. So I was out of town spending a whole extended weekend with my best friend Mike back in Buffalo while he was getting married and helping him, and then Lindsay had to fly in to meet me so she could be at the wedding, and her flights all got delayed and it was crazy. Are you excited you made it?
Yes! Love is in the air! Yay!
Everything worked out. It was beautiful, absolutely amazing. And I'm also enjoying quite a bit this kind of summer salad. Avocado, raspberries, sesame seeds, some oil and vinegar. It's a super thumbs up. But I didn't come here to talk to you, or I didn't bring you here to talk to you about my salad. I came here to talk to you about what I'm doing tonight. I'm doing a very, very rare open to the public speech, open to the public presentation. It's being held at a local library. It was, kind of doing it as I don't know, a favor is the wrong word. Kind of doing it as a favor / I originally, when I agreed to do it, I was hoping, this was months ago, I was hoping that my book would be out. So I kind of have a first shot at getting the book into people's hands. And we're still like 4 months away from the book being out. So tonight, I will be taking pre-orders for the book from people who see me for, that'll be the first time I get to take pre-orders. We'll see if anybody has any interest. I've got some nice banners with the book cover on it and everything to show people there. So I'm doing like a 45 to 50 minute presentation and then open Q&A session. And because it's open to the public and nobody's paying to be there, it's a local library, I can kind of go longer if it makes sense. I can talk and talk and talk if people are interested. Here's the cool thing though. I got a call from the library earlier today, the woman that's bringing me in, Michelle. Maybe I can introduce you later. I know I always say that, I never get a chance to, but maybe I'll introduce you later. She called me earlier and said, I was expecting like 20 people. I mean, when you come out, you do a local library, kind of just, to give back to the community a little bit, or, what do you get at a library program, 15, 20? She said there's 70 people RSVP'd. There's potentially a waiting list. It's gonna be standing room only. That they've got teens and their parents, and typically they can only get one or the other. They get the teens who come out just for their thing, something that's specific to them, or they get the parents who come out, or the older folks, right? But they've got the teens and their parents, like 14 and up, 70 plus people in a library. That's crazy. So I am super pumped to go in and set this up. Let's do it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that you're all here. Okay, now here's what people, by the way, I always have to tell people this. You're watching the black ring, that's not a distraction, that is actually my wedding band. I can't take that off. If I take that off, my wife shows up. It's a different show. You are getting sleepy. We are getting sleepy. Here's what some people think, that maybe I slip it off when nobody's looking, but you would see me do that, so I'll do it without the ribbon. Are you ready? It disappears.
Show me your other hand.
Absolutely.
With the other hand open.
All right, you're actually gonna see it go. In the pocket, on the ribbon, where I said it was, yeah. Take one step towards this way so everybody can see. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's off. It's gone. It's on your finger. That would have been amazing. That would have freaked me out. I would have been like, ooh. Has my hand left your shoulder? No. It would be impossible to get it right back on my finger. Give Tia a big round of applause for helping out. High five, Tia. Thank you very much. So now you know what perspective taking is, and now you know why magicians do it, right? So perspective taking is the ability to see the world from the point of view of another person, and we use it to create wonder and connect with an audience. But why should you care? Right? You're not magicians. Cigna, now you all know Cigna because we're in Connecticut, but they don't all know Cigna everywhere in the world, even though they are a global health service company. Cigna just released a report, I don't know if you heard about this, a few months ago. It was a landmark study on loneliness in America. Right? 20,000 American adults were surveyed, massive, right? 20,000 American adults, age 18 all the way up across every generation, from Gen Z all the way up to the greatest generation, everybody in between. And what they found, the conclusion of this study, is that loneliness is now at epidemic levels, right? And that's the word, right? It was actually concluded in the study, loneliness is at epidemic levels, that about half of all American adults across all generations always or sometimes feel lonely or isolated. Half. That means if you don't, the person next to you probably does. That's what that means right now, right? And if you do, the person next to you might also, right? That's a huge amount of people. In fact, the study concluded that loneliness is so detrimental to your mental and physical well-being that it has the same effect on mortality as obesity. Loneliness is now considered as dangerous as obesity. The point is, people are not feeling heard, understood, and valued, and it's literally killing us. This isn't just something motivational speakers like to talk about anymore. Ask meaningful, relevant questions. Listen to understand the answers. When you make people feel heard, understood, and valued, they will make you feel heard, understood, and valued, and we can all start to live in a slightly better world. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your attention this evening. The speech was fantastic. You know, the same thing that happens to me that always does when I'm by myself. I didn't end up filming anything else that night because I was meeting people as they were coming in, greeting, members of the community who were coming to see it. I was chatting with Michelle, my contact, who, organized the whole thing and brought me in. It was an all ages audience, but it got split much more along generational gaps than I'm used to. I'm used to speaking with either, like teens and young adults, like go to a high school, speak at an assembly or like a leadership conference for a middle school or high school, or go to a college and speak to, student leaders that are in college. Occasionally you'll do like students with their parents, but they're all there for the same reason. And then I also do, corporations and associations where you're dealing with employees either within an industry or from the same company. And so usually you can really target your message. I mean, everything I do has this umbrella of human connection, but, I have different things I talk about depending on who my audience is and what their goals are, all under that umbrella. But it was really interesting last night because there were teenagers between the age of, 12 and 17, but only 8 or 9 of them, and they had, parents with them a little bit. And then there were pretty much there was a huge generational gap, and then everybody else was like 65 and up. And so trying to figure out which topics, which stories, where to put my focus was really kind of difficult. It was an interesting challenge because I had to... The stories that I would tell for and the points that I would make for the kind of 12 to 17-year-olds would be a little bit more general motivation, general inspiration, a little bit, funnier and sillier, and kind of making, kind of backdooring a message about getting out of your comfort zone and overcoming the fear of failure and getting out there and meeting new people. The message that I would, if I were just speaking to an audience of 65 and ups, I wouldn't be doing as much of a general motivation, even if they would benefit from that message, they don't want to hear it from someone who's 30 to 40 years their junior. You know what I mean? But what they were much more interested in is when I started talking about some of the statistics and some of the research on, loneliness and social media and that kind of stuff. Again, all related to human connection, all under the same umbrella. But those kind of facts and statistics are not that exciting to teens. And so I had to constantly kind of weave back and forth and navigate. And the thing ended up going, really, really well. I think we got, I lost my fill light, which is the computer monitor. There were some folks that decided to pre-order the book, which is very exciting. And then a lot more folks who put their emails down and were like, send us info when the book is available. I already made plans and we're starting to schedule for me to come back to that library when the book comes out this December to actually do fulfill the pre-orders and do a signing, or for all the folks who wanted to get it but didn't want to pre-order it, to have them pick it up there. And maybe I'll do a short 30-minute talk about the content of the book before I sit down and sell it and sign it. So that's really exciting. And it was super cool because there were a couple of kids who were aspiring magicians, and they were like 9 and 12, 13, 14, 9, and 15. I don't know. They were terrific, and they showed me some magic. I showed them some stuff. We talked a little bit about magic. I gave the older one was looking for suggestions for what books to read next and what videos to watch to learn, the next step for magic for him. And the whole night was great. I really enjoy getting to do stuff like that, kind of locally in the community, where it doesn't have like the pressure that the corporate keynotes and workshops and those kind of things have, and we can really kind of relax and get to know each other. You're all about to start seeing a lot more videos like it used to be here. I know I've talked about that. In less than 2 weeks I start touring again, and the first 6 weeks of the fall semester for me are mostly speeches on college campuses, a few magic shows, but mostly speeches and programs and presentations for student leaders and orientation stuff. So I'm going to start vlogging like I used to, hopefully get back to uploading 2 to 3 videos a week. It should be a lot of fun. You come with me again, it'll be exciting, and over the next few months, hopefully you'll get to really follow me on the journey kind of behind the scenes leading up to the book launch, which is really exciting. So thanks so much for sticking with me, and always remember that our world is a shared experience. Have a great day.